Alright, people. It's your man. What's up, YouTube? Alright. Today's a very special YouTube video. Today is going to be called Sex Game Lights, Camera, Action. Yeah, I had to try something new, switch it up. Basically, I got my cell phone on my tripod, and I'm sitting down, and you can see I'm sitting down. You see that I'm not handhelding the camera, because I like to switch up my camera style. If you do handheld for too long, like my film teacher told me at LA, or should I say Los Angeles City College, in the television department, if you do handheld too much, you get lazy, you get complacent, and then all of a sudden you get used to that style, and then you don't want to change up your style. So I have like maybe two styles of filmmaking that I do. Now this video is going to be talking about my passion for filmmaking. About 4 weeks ago, or should I say a month ago, there was a gentleman on my sports channel in the comment section that asked me what inspires me to come on YouTube and make YouTube videos. And I never thought about making a video about it, and I said, you know what, it's a Sunday afternoon. I got the house to myself for the most part. At least I think I do, because my dad could pop up on me in the next hour or 2 hours. So let's keep our fingers crossed. So this is going to be talking to people that are in high school and college, because my YouTube analytics show on one channel it's people from the ages of 18 to 25, and then on the main channel it's 25 to 34 years old people watch my YouTube channel. I have like at least 7, maybe 8, and possibly 9 YouTube channels. I don't expect you to go to all the channels. It's, it's funny, I'll get to how that actually happened at the end of the video, depending how long I want the video to last. I'm going to see if I can get it to last no more than 15, 20 minutes, maybe 25. I promise it won't take that long. Let's hope it don't go, it should be not like yesterday's video, which was 44 minutes, which was way too long. Hopefully this don't break into 2 parts, because I want to put this on 3 different channels, because I have 3 different audiences. Now, my journey in filmmaking started like most filmmakers, most YouTube content creators. It all started when I graduated from high school at Westchester High School in California. I went to Westchester High School from 2001 to 2005. And I went to West LA College from 2006 to 2009. And there is where I learned the filmmaking process. The first class I took was the history of motion pictures, which that just talks about, the old style of filmmaking with the cameras before we got to the stuff that we use today. Your iPhone, your iPad, you use a tungsten camera. Before we got to that today. And I got a D, which was disappointing. Then I took filmmaking. I took a screenwriting class. I took screenwriting twice. The first time I took screenwriting, I got a C, just barely passed. The reason why I took it the second time was because I wanted that experience from a real professional screenwriter. It's okay when you get a teacher to tutor you, but it's better when you get someone that's actually from the film industry, someone who's been in television and film, someone who's where you're trying to go. And that's what I did, took screenwriting twice for. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish up because the classes were being canceled every single semester, and I got upset and frustrated. It's like I was taking math, I was taking PE, I was taking health, but every time it came to try to get into film, they kept canceling the classes. We have a rule in college. If there's a low enrollment, then you cannot have a class. So if you only got 5 people in class, and the requirement is 15 to 30 people, then you can't have the class. So I had to leave my friends, which that wasn't easy. And I talked about this last year, and I talked about it again, and I said eventually I would get to this point. Well, we got to this point because all my friends in college, except for maybe two or three, the rest of them turned against me. A lot of them thought I was trying to be better than them. A lot of them thought I had an ego. Oh, he's an egomaniac. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. He breaking up the wolf pack. How dare he break up the wolf pack? And it wasn't me trying to break up the wolf pack. It was me trying to follow my passion. My passion is filmmaking. See, most men when they're in junior high and high school, it's be a basketball player, be a football player, um, be a baseball player, be a rap star, an R&B singer, a doctor, a lawyer, or a firefighter, or a police officer, or whatever. Mine was quite simple: martial arts, fitness training. I do have love for bodybuilding, and weightlifting and powerlifting, and filmmaking. As a child, I just like filmmaking. See, it goes back to even when I was a kid. My dad used to work at the post office in Hollywood for he's been at the post office for like 30 plus years, and he had a lot of contacts that knew some people in the entertainment industry, particularly film and television, and that's where my love and passion for filmmaking began. I got to see the first Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis in it. Movie hadn't even been released for at least 3 years. Not 3 years, but for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, the movie hadn't been released, and they were editing the movie while they were showing it at a private movie theater. So I saw two executive producers, the screenwriter and the director, that worked for 20th Century Fox. We all know that Walt Disney now has 20th Century Fox, so that's strange and ironic that I would actually see people at 20th Century Fox, and then you fast forward 14 years later for me, and Fox is now acquired by Walt Disney. It's kind of funny how stuff happens, doesn't it? And I saw that, and then maybe a month later, I went back and saw the first Lethal Weapon movie. I got to see Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2 2 years in a row, before they even released them into the movie theater. Lethal Weapon 1 was like already theatrical release, and they had already done Lethal Weapon 2 after that. So I got to see three movies in a private theater. My dad had connections. My mom had connections. When it came to the martial arts, that's why you see I make so many martial arts videos. That first person I met was John Claude Van Damme. He was one of my favorite action stars of the 1980s and 90s. And he was in the movies, he was in the television shows, and he was doing exactly what I like. He did bodybuilding, he did powerlifting, weightlifting, he did martial arts, and he was an actor. And he was multi-talented, and I had never seen a multi-talented person like John Claude Van Damme. So I was already motivated and inspired. And the way he looked at me like this: if you got a dream, go for it, kid. And that's when he told me that he met Bruce Lee when he was a little kid. And he told me that Bruce Lee told him that, so he told it to me. So when you see me do that, John Claude Van Damme got it from Bruce Lee. I got it from John Claude Van Damme. So now you know where that comes from when you see me do that in the camera. After that, I got way into the martial arts. I started taking karate classes. I remember beating people in karate. I might have not always won the matches, and I was like 6 or 7 years old when I done martial arts. And then there was a period where I didn't go back until like 12, maybe 13 years old. I returned back to it because at that point my dad was trying to get me to play basketball, football, baseball, and I was like that. I don't want to say, you know, awkward kid, but I want to say I was that funny kid that just was not into basketball, football, or baseball. Like my dad tried at least 7 to 8 attempts to get me to play basketball. I played basketball because he wanted me to play basketball. I figured that's what he wanted. So I played junior basketball at Vaness Park, and I won 3 junior world championships 3 years in a row. The first year I placed third place, which I didn't like that at all. I got third place, so I was kind of pissed. You know what? I get third place. That's it, third. My dad was like, you need to practice a little bit more on your jump shot and your defense, and play as a team player and not as trying to be Michael Jordan. Because at that time, I was gonna try to do everything I saw Michael Jordan do. I was gonna try to copy it, and I had like at least 7 or 8 or 9 player haters that was telling me you will never ever be good as Michael Jordan. Now the truth is I'm not the best pickup basketball player in the world. I'm not the best. I'm not the best of the best. But on an occasion, I can become the best of the best. That will be saved for another time. But that's where the development began. I saw people have cameras out, tripods. They would film us playing basketball. And I got exposed to the cameras. Flat putting me on a magazine, putting me on a little playing card, giving me a jersey. And that's what made me want to do filmmaking more. The more I got exposed to it, the more I wanted to do it. By the time I got to the YMCA, I was kind of like bored of playing basketball. I was like, I've done it for 6 years. I don't want to do it no more. I want to do what I want to do, which is martial arts. I went back to the martial arts. I wanted to do Taekwondo. And the reason why I didn't finish was because, they charged people like almost $200 a lesson. And then they got shut down, and then they had to relocate because rent was too high. And by the time I graduated from high school and into college, I finally made my way to Los Angeles City College from 2010 to 2018. Because the first 4 years, I had to pass all my classes just to get into television and film. It was a prerequisite. If you don't take no math, no English, no health, you don't get into the television and film classes. So that was why I was, taking a long time, as they say, to finish. Once I got in to the film academy, the first class was motion and pictures workshop. It was a good experience because we didn't have one teacher. We actually had two teachers and two tutors. And I learned a lot from these guys. Yeah, these guys might have been in their 40s and their 50s, but these guys have been doing this for like 30 plus years, and they were so crafted in their craft that I just absorbed the information that came from these men. The fact that they knew so much about how do you stand up your camera, your tripod, how you do filmmaking inside the studios, outside on location, what are your limitations, how to make your limitations work for you, how to work within the film system. They were good at all of that. And I got to make three short films, and the fourth one was one I wanted to make. And then we had to do editing, so that's where I became the filmmaker, the writer, storyboard artist, the editor, and then finally I took another class. I took screenwriting again, which I needed because it had been so long, so I ended up taking it a third time. Finally, we got to a class that I had never took before, theater acting. Now, I had took theater acting at Wesley College, but when I took it at Los Angeles City College, it was a highly advanced version of the same thing I took. When I took that one, you had to actually act. This one, you had to sit in the audience, and a lot of your assignments was you had to critique the actors and actresses that were college students on stage. So I got to see what was the difference between acting in movies, television, and acting on stage. So I got to see the difference between all three. Acting on stage is like drama at its finest. You could feel the passion, the emotion. If somebody cries, there's some part of you that's going to feel like you're going to cry. If somebody's happy, some part of you's going to be happy. If you're mad, some part of you's going to be mad. And if somebody laughs, you're going to want to laugh. You feel the emotions when you see the actors and actresses on stage. Now, they call that suspension of disbelief. It feels real, it sounds real, but it isn't real. And some of the world's best actors and actresses in Hollywood know what I'm talking about. Now, acting in television is somebody writes a script. That actor can either interpret the script and they're able to get fully crafted, or they have to rewrite the script. Like if you look at Rush Hour, all of Chris Tucker's lines are written out for him because they have to be a certain style of writing. So I got to see the difference between acting in television, film, and theater. Then I took another one, which is I got to be a part of a theater workshop where I got to actually help build up the set for the four plays. So that was even more fun because I got to be a part of a film crew. I got to feel the experience of what the guys do in the production truck. I got to see what that really feels like. You know, give me a hammer. I got to put up the windows, the fake doors. I got to see the test dummies, the fake dolls, and it was like I was getting some more exposure of what it is I like to do. Did three theater plays. The fourth one was kind of like a private audience. It wasn't open to the college students. It was just for the college students. So it was you're gonna build up four sets. You're gonna see three plays, but the fourth one is like optional. That was a very fun experience. I loved it so much that had I not got my first job or my second job, I probably would have. As I was saying, I love that experience so much that I was able to take another class. And this one was by accident. So some of you younger people that are in high school or in college, you young adults, you probably laugh at this, but you can also see why I have this T-shirt. You can see how this got created. I took a sewing class by accident. I wanted to take technical production theater operation. I know that's a long name. They might have changed it, but that's what it was called at the time. And that was about hanging out with the producer, hanging out with the director, and you still had to build the set, but you got to actually be behind the scenes. So if an actor said, "I need a water bottle," you would actually give that person a water bottle. It's like the equivalent to being the water boy or the towel boy and giving the football player or basketball player his towel and his water bottle. That class I never got because it was not offered every semester. It was offered every once a semester. Finally, I took the sewing class, and I took two of them. And I learned how to sew clothes. Now, I'm actually terrible at sewing pants. Like, I actually am terrible. But when it came to the shirt, I was okay. When it came to sewing a jacket, I wasn't the best, and I wasn't that bad, but I was okay with the jacket. Pants, very terrible. Shoes, don't even bring it up. But I learned how to do sewing, so I took two sewing classes. They combined both the classes into one. Then I took a makeup class and became a makeup artist. And I probably should make another video called um, My Fun Time in Film School and show you pictures of what I did as a makeup artist. So that's how come I mean, I was very good. I had no idea that I even had the capabilities or the skill set for makeup artists. At first, I thought the teacher, lost her mind when she told me you got the capabilities to get in the industry. You need someone to give you a big kick in the ass and a big push. And trust me, I got like at least four, maybe six or seven nice good kicks in the ass before I finally saw what they were talking about. It was the same thing. I had fun there. Then finally, I made it to television. For so long at LA City College, I wanted television, and every semester I would end up taking another class. And finally, after 4 years of not getting it, I got my first television class. It was television music production number one. I mean, it wasn't number one, because there was like 8 to 10 damn television classes, and they're all broken into different categories. If you take television and sound, it was going to focus on the sound of television. There was television and camera, television and cutting edge, computers. So it was like 10 different classes. So I took the first one, which I thought was music production. That's where I got exposed to the music side, where you still had to work on the camera, and that's where all my experiences came together with the camera. First, I was the camera operator, so we had three cameras. Then we had to have the teleprompter, so I got to be the one to put the big, nice words on the bulletin. Then I got to be the floor director. We call it a floor manager. I got to be the host, so you had to learn how to act, television style, not necessarily theater acting, but television acting. They sound the same, but they're different. Finally, we get to what I like inside the control room. It was technical director, assistant director, then it was the director, then it was voiceover, which I never done that, but everyone else had done it. I took my second television music production class, and I was able to you know what I mean. I was able to do the same thing again, and then I was even more crafted because I had to do the lights. So I became the light artist, where you had to work on the lights. So I became a light technician, camera technician, floor director, teleprompter. Then there was being a host, which means you had to act. Then there was being computer operator, where there's two different applications. There's CGI, and then there's graphic design. That's where I learned how to become a web designer. And I never took a class to become a web designer, but because I took three television classes, each time I took them, the teacher would make me get on the computer when I didn't want to. That's why I said I would get 6, maybe 7 foot, boots up the ass. And next thing I know, I learned how to become a web designer. Most people have to actually take an actual class to become a web designer. I just took those and created my own website like 7 years, not 7, but like 5 years ago. I created my own website before it got messed up. And it was because I was in the filmmaking. Like the t-shirt that you see right here I took the idea from the website to create this t-shirt. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see the shirt right here. Let's go into the light where you can actually see the shirt. See? This is like an old t-shirt, and I guarantee you in another 2 months it'll be time to update the shirt so you can see how that goes. So that's how that goes. So as you can see, the tripod malfunction because it's an old one, and pretty soon it'll be time for a new one. But you could see where I was at in television. Now, television is very different from everything else. And when I had my first job, I ended up finding myself in a place called the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, where everybody loves sports. And once again, I got exposed to what else? Television. For 2 years at the Coliseum, I found myself doing. I was a janitor, but I got to be put at the production truck, and I got to see the inside of a production truck. And I actually got to spoke to at least 2 or 3 guys of the production truck because what else can I say? They was telling me how difficult it was to work inside the production truck, and I asked like at least 5 questions because my film teacher told me if you ever get an opportunity to speak to someone from the production truck, take 100% advantage of it. You don't know where that can lead to. Sports, entertainment, filmmaking, you just don't know. So I did that. I got to see Channel 7 News when they would come onto the football field when the game was over and interview the coach and the assistant coach and the players. And yes, I've been inside the NFL locker room, not once but twice, 2 years in a row, where I was a janitor and I had to clean the locker room up. It's very empowering and very inspiring to be inside of an NFL locker room. I got to see how they set up the football game. Like, to be under the tunnel and to see the guys come out all pumped up, face paint on their face like real warriors, ready to kick ass, smash mouth football in your face. That's basically what I learned. And it was a good experience. And then I got what I never thought. When I became a security guard at the Grove at a store called Top Shop Top Man, I got to be exposed to running into celebrities who were already in the industry. So the reason why I made this video is for guys and for men. So this video is for men and for women, young or old, black or white, that if you have a dream, if you have a passion, if you're passionate about something, you don't let any man or any woman tell you you cannot accomplish anything or that you cannot achieve anything. I don't care if it's your parents, your grandparents, somebody at your job, at work, a random stranger, someone on the internet that just comes at random and say something. Don't let anyone tell you what you can do and cannot do under any circumstances. Like all the stuff that I explained in this 20 to 22 minutes, is real. It's 100% real. All the stuff that I just explained in the video has actually happened, and I'm trying to tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. If someone tell you 5 times, 15, 20 times, or 50 times that you can't accomplish nothing, let that ignite and fuel your competitive fire forevermore. You'd be surprised of what capabilities that you have until you test them out. Sometimes you might need maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 good kicks in the ass and someone to push you for you to find that out. And is there an age restriction? I don't think there's an age restriction when it comes to filmmaking. You could be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, you could be in your 50s and do filmmaking. You know, you will get one group of people that will push you, and you will get another group that will try to stop and sabotage you because they don't want to see you succeed. So I made this video because someone asked me a month ago what inspires me. It's filmmaking, it's bodybuilding, it's weightlifting, it's martial arts. That's what inspires me. Now, I still play basketball, and every now and then I lay the smack down on the basketball court. But this is what I was passionate about, and maybe in a future video we talk about why I did makeup artist, because it add to my set of skills. You know, to be in the television control room, you know, technical director, assistant director, director, sound stage crew, floor director, you know, camera operator, you know, the teleprompter, you know, the light technician, you know, makeup artist, actor, you name it. Working on the set of theater plays. I've done it. I've done a whole bunch of stuff and got trained, hands-on training. You know, so you don't have to necessarily go to a UCLA or a USC or UCLA college and pay 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 dollars and a film program to do it. Now, I know some people are going to say, but what if I want the best of the best? I'll make a future video late July, early August called the Top 10 Film Schools that if you're going to learn filmmaking, where to go to and where not to go to. But this is me sharing you my experience, the real Alexander. You know, we're not talking about sports. We're not talking about music. We're not talking about sex and dating. We're talking about my passion for filmmaking. So the name of the title of this YouTube video is called Sex Game Lights, Camera, Action. That's why you saw the slate. If my tripod didn't fall down and have a malfunction, I would show you my slate again. Maybe in future YouTube videos when I buy me a new tripod, you might see a slate or a new slate. But that shows that I'm passionate about filmmaking. That's why you keep getting all these videos about television and film, my favorite movies, my favorite animes. That's why you get all these new videos and new content. Now, I also apologize when I was like 16, 17, 18 minutes in the video because someone was asking me, they wanted to pop some popcorn. And, you know, sometimes I don't like being interrupted while I'm doing a video because it distracts the audience. And then you guys be like, you know, why I pause? Why am my mouth open? That's why I have my mouth open and I pause. Because I was getting these interruptions. And I promise you, in the future, we'll be filming on locations where we won't have no interruptions. So I apologize. That's why you saw me have that awkward look on my face. So when you see this 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, or 5 hours later, and you go, why you stop in the middle of the video? Because someone was in the background asking for something, and a lot of times, you know, it's like, go get the stuff so I can, you know, talk to the audience. So I promise in the future we'll go make videos on location where there'll be zero distractions, because the phone gets to ringing, then somebody starts knocking on the door, and then it messes up the whole progress of the video. You know, and then I have to refilm the video. That's another thing. How many times, I mean, when I did the third class was television broadcasting, which is learning how the news works. So it was good to be at the Coliseum for 2 years because I got to see how the news work. I saw the news vans, how the news reporters are. You make a mistake, you got to do it all over again. And if you film it live, the whole world sees your mistake. So you're seeing my mistake live on camera here on YouTube because someone wanted some popcorn and didn't realize I was filming. So in the future, I have to start making film signs in the house. That's a joke. Or go on location to where I can get away from the distractions because sometimes people just, they see you, but they don't realize you're filming. And when you're filming, you have to explain to them that you're filming. You guys get it. So you future filmmakers, men and women, young or old, black or white, there are simple rules of filmmaking. There doesn't matter how old you are. You can be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Number two, don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do your dream. If they do, let that ignite your competitive fire. And number three, have fun, kick ass, and take names. So that's why this video's been made. So I don't want to take no more of your time. Till next time, peace.